You're getting burnt out because you keep trying to make a post every single day and then post it the same day and then do it tomorrow, then the next day, then the next day. And then you end up realizing, oh, I haven't posted anything in 3 weeks. It's because you're burnt out. Let's fix that. Hey y'all, my name is Chatara. I am a digital media specialist, and today we're going to be talking about batch creating content. What is it? How can I get started? Why do people keep saying this word? I'm sick of hearing it. What is it? Help. Batch creating content is a technique where you make all of your content in one sitting and then you schedule it and then you realize that you have no more gray hairs because you're not stressed out anymore. I'm going to show you guys what you can use to schedule your content and what order you should probably do everything in, because some people kind of like do a lot of going back and forth. But I'm going to show you what's the best way to not get burnt out. Before you even get started creating your content, you got to figure out what you're going to be posting, why you're posting it, and when you want to post it, okay? So the biggest first step is just to brainstorm, all right? So any ideas you have, whatever is flowing, whatever you see on Pinterest, whatever you see on Instagram, get it all in one area, okay? Because that's where your inspiration is coming from, right? You don't want to just get in front of the camera or just like start typing out a tweet or something like that, and it's gonna feel like there's no purpose. You see what I'm saying? So get all of your ideas together. Make sure you brainstorm. I highly recommend using Pinterest, and when you're on Instagram, just like save things to your collection and maybe name it. Try to make it organized so it's easy to come back to it later, because you don't want to be scrolling all over the place and then you start crying and you're like, oh, I can't find that one video because you didn't save it. Duh. Also, when you're picking these different videos that you're seeing in your different places to get inspiration from, you want to make sure that you're sticking to certain themes, okay? You don't want to be all over the place. For example, if I'm doing hair, I might do some hair tutorials, I might show my work, I might even give people like hair care tips, or I might be talking about things I might be selling. So anything dealing with hair, that would be easy, right? Also, if you're someone who has a podcast, now that can be different. Yeah, you can just say, hey, I have this new episode up. All right, but what is your podcast mainly about? Because you don't only have to post clips from your episodes. You can also post about things that might be trending in the news or in the media or something like that that's related to topics that are discussed in your podcast. So, again, just think about these different themes so that way everything will feel a lot more cohesive, and it makes it a lot easier for you to just stay on topic whenever you're creating this content. A lot of people will ask me what should they do in order to come up with these ideas. Some people just got it like that. You know what I'm saying? But you can. It's just that you gotta just pull your ideas from the right way, and you gotta just think a certain way. So, for example, since we already talked about having these different themes, so I'll just stay on the topic of hair for right now. If I was to go to Pinterest and I'm trying to get ideas from there, if I just type in something, actually, let me try it right now. I'm gonna get on Pinterest. So if I get on Pinterest and I just type in, hair, I'll just put hair trends to see what comes up. Okay. Um, you want to figure out like whatever is going on, obviously in your lane. So if I'm looking at these different hairstyles right now, I only typed in hair trends. I'm seeing a lot of brown and blonde up here. So maybe you can make a video about that, about why that is so iconic. Why does Beyonce always have brown and blonde hair? Like, what fits skin tones best? You see what I'm saying? It's just coming to me naturally. You see what I'm saying? So maybe you can talk about why certain like colors match certain people's like skin tone or something like that. Maybe how it frames your face, etc. Okay, I can probably even do another one. Let me do. I'll put car trends this time. So it's like as soon as you see something, just whatever comes, like the first word that comes to mind, try to expand on that. So I just typed in car trends this time. Now I'm seeing a whole bunch of like car posters on here. And I'm thinking about how a lot of people always get photo shoots for like of their car, and they'll like put it up in posters because they want to show their specs. Like my fiance does that. He likes stuff like that. But maybe you can talk if you have like a car podcast. I don't know. Maybe you could do a video about where people like they treat their car like it's a person, almost like in a good way. Like they like cherish it. They treat it like it's an art piece. That's what I'm trying to say. But just anything that comes to mind. And I guess if you have like a design page, maybe you can talk about, you can maybe compare all the different posters or something together. I don't know, but you see what I'm saying. I would just probably have to do a lot more like research on it to get some different ideas. But that's pretty much all you have to do. Once you get all of your brainstorming content and your topics and all that stuff together, the really important thing is you got to align all that content idea stuff with what content types would be best. So by that I mean, if I'm still on the car topic, how to tint your windows. I don't know. That would be best if I showed it through a video. Because if I'm trying to show you some really specific things through maybe like an Instagram carousel and I gotta keep swiping over, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really all demonstrations are just best through um a video. You can probably get away with some things that aren't as tedious through an Instagram carousel or just a photo or something like that. But yeah, just try to figure out what works best with whatever your content is. All of that was step 1. Let's talk about step 2, which is setting up a creation day, okay? So when I say day, I mean all day. Okay, some people might say they'll do it in an hour or so, but it kind of depends on how short your content is or how easy it may be to create for you. But I recommend just setting up a whole day, especially if you're just now getting started. So for example, if I want to make a whole bunch of Instagram reels, I might record them all back to back to back. Okay, so I might record this one skit, then I might record another one where I'm giving like graphic design tips or something. I might record another one where it's like day in the life of a graphic designer, you know? So if I have them all lined up, then I don't have to worry about trying to do it every single day. Because if you're trying to create content every single day, what's wrong with you? We just said we're not going to be burnt out anymore. So what are you doing? Yeah, the best thing to do would be to just set aside 1 or 2 days and just create all of your content within that day. So for me, and I've kind of been like trying to switch up how I want to do my schedule. I've been creating 1 to 2 times a week. Like I'll just make a bunch of content 1 to 2 times a week, and I'm starting to schedule my stuff out. But if you can record all your content maybe 1 to 2 days in a month and schedule it out, you're winning. Okay, some people they might record once a week, some people might do it bi-weekly. It just depends on what works for you. Okay, if you're really trying to look like you're not recording all your content all at once, the best thing to do would be to change up your hairstyle. Like right now, if I'm going to record something else, I might put my hair in a ponytail, I might change out my glasses, I might change what's playing right here, I might even record in a different room, I might even change my outfit. So you know what I'm saying, because people might be like, dang, she's always wearing that hoodie. Yeah, because I wore this hoodie all in the same sitting. You just don't know. But you see what I'm saying? The biggest thing that I learned recently, repurposing content. And I'm not saying reposting content. That's not what I'm saying. Like if you had a viral video that went viral, I don't know, 6 months ago, I'm not saying to repost it. You actually can do that. But if you repurpose your content, you're really winning because you don't have to come up with a whole new idea. So, for example, I'm giving all these tips in this one video, right? I can crop my video. You know what I'm saying? And I can, cause this is a long form video, right? I can like crop this video and use it for Instagram Shorts. I'm at Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or TikTok, right? And I can just pull one piece of information from the video and I can just make that one of my short form pieces, right? So and that could be like, a 10, 15, 20-second video and I don't even have to come up with something new. But yeah, that's one way of repurposing. Another way to repurpose is I could maybe get like one sentence from this video. So let's say I said something about being burnt out, right? Like I was talking about being burnt out a little second ago. I can maybe clip that part of the video and I can just like kind of keep watching it to get an idea from it. And I could probably just make a video about how to relax after feeling so burnt out. What you should do if you feel burnt out. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you get this one topic and you just kind of, it's like you're making like a web map. Like you have this one topic in the center and you just make like a bunch of branches from it and whatever comes to mind, just keep branching off of that. Okay. You can also write blog posts about whatever it is that you're wanting to talk about. So if I'm talking about being burnt out, I can probably talk about the side effects from being burnt out. I can put all that stuff in a blog post where it's just, all text. So just think about how you can get one idea from a piece of a video or carousel, whatever, and just turn it into something else. So even though one thing might be a reel, it can be something on your Instagram story. It can even be an Instagram highlight. It can be a full on YouTube video, a TikTok video, whatever, a tweet. It can be whatever you want it to be. So just think about that, because it helps you to realize that you seriously have an unlimited amount of ideas when it comes to creating content. Another bonus tip is you can get this content and put it into a newsletter. So I can probably just play this YouTube video back that I'm recording right now, and I can look at the transcript and pretty much just look at it and go over it and say, hey, I can get maybe like 4 pieces out of this and put it into a newsletter. So that can really help you to like stay up to date on your newsletters to your audience, because they might not watch your YouTube videos like that. They probably are waiting on your newsletters or your blog posts, etc., etc. So I know a lot of my clients, they worry about what they should put in their newsletters. I know a lot of people feel like they have to just always say in their newsletters, hey, this is on sale, this is on sale. But you see what I'm saying? It's just like you can give them informational content sometimes too, and you'll always have a place to pull from. That was all of step 3. So for step 4, you want to automate your posting. Okay, I would say this one is kind of optional, but I really do recommend it. Even though I don't always do it, I still recommend it. So when I say to automate your posts with the scheduling, I mean, so like on Instagram, you can get an Instagram reel, and after you sit there and you have it like you're about to hit the share button, in that area you'll see where it'll ask you if you want to schedule it. So if you don't want it to be posted right now, let's say you want it to be posted I guess 2 weeks from now, then you'll just pick that date, and you'll pick what time you want it to be posted, and then when that time comes, it'll just automatically be posted. But something that I have noticed is that on Instagram, you can't schedule certain posts if you have certain features on that video, like it's set up in your settings. So I believe if something has a poll on it where you can like vote on things, I don't think that you can schedule that post. Or you know how you can also have an Instagram reel and you can also have it to post on Facebook at the same time. If something has a poll, then you can't have it to automatically post on Facebook. So that part is kind of annoying. That's why I don't really do it as much. But I mean, again, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to how you have your business set up, how you just have your page set up in general. It's totally up to you. Some tools that I really recommend for scheduling on Instagram and Facebook. Yes, it's built into Facebook and it's also built into Instagram. But they have something on Facebook called Meta Business Suite, and that is connected to Instagram and Facebook, and it has this calendar, and you can just go in there and you can just schedule you can schedule your stories in there too. So you can schedule anything on Instagram within that. So I really recommend that, and it's free. And last time I checked, you can schedule up to, I want to say, like 15 days at a time. So from today and then 15, between today and like 15 days from now, I can schedule as much as I want to, all in between there. It used to be 30. Actually, I think it was unlimited, but yeah. If you're someone who likes to post on Pinterest, Pinterest does have something where you can schedule it within the app. So I believe it's on the app and it's also on their website. I think last time I checked, it was on the app though. But you can use it in there too. There's also another platform called Tailwind. So tail like a dog's tail or something, and then wind like so Tailwind. But yeah, so Tailwind's pretty cool. I used a like trial version of that some years ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, so you can use Tailwind if you want to schedule on Pinterest. There's really no difference between the two. Obviously, you have a lot more freedom if you're scheduling through Pinterest, because you can like change up. Obviously, you can change your captions in either one. But you know how within certain apps they just have certain settings, like maybe you want to use certain tags and things like that. I don't think you can do that in Tailwind, but you know, for scheduling things in general, Later is another good one. I've used a trial version of that as well, like a free version that they had some years ago, and I really, really liked it. Planoly is another popular one. I've used that one before as well. And Buffer is another great one too. So I like all 3 of these. I just don't use them because I just didn't want to pay for them. Not even a lot of you, but if you're able to afford it, then I mean, yeah, go ahead. But personally, I don't really use them because I don't really have a problem with just posting my stuff up like manually. You know, like I'm the type, I just like to have all of my videos ready to go, and then I'll just manually post it myself. But I think I do plan on getting Planoly back because I don't know. I just really like the platform, and that they'll also show you. I believe it's Planoly. I believe that they'll show you like how your feed will look. You can like rearrange things in the feed, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'll keep y'all updated on that. I really recommend though that you have at least, some people say 2 weeks, but I would say maybe at least 1 week or 1.5 weeks of content already scheduled and ready to go. Because as it gets closer to the time where you gotta post something new and you're already out of content, then you're gonna be scrambling all over the place, and then it'll start to make your content look kind of low quality, or it's just like, why does she post this? It looks like there's really no purpose. But if you feel like you have a lot of time in your hands and you're sitting there making the content, then it just feels like you're really into it a lot more. It doesn't feel like, hey guys, today we're, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you are nervous and if you are lost, it looks very obvious. So, but if you have everything just planned out, in like a notebook or whatever, you just feel a lot more relaxed. So that's why I really recommend doing that. One of my favorite tips I would say is to always keep a notebook on you. Listen, so when I'm driving home from work, I sit in some crazy traffic, and I mean crazy. Like I'm driving 2 hours minimum trying to get back home, Atlanta. But listen, so what I do is I have this little small notebook, and I listen to music all the time, like whenever I'm driving. So if I hear a little clip, I'm like, oh, I can use that clip and make an Instagram reel out of it. Or I can make a YouTube video, related to that topic. Then I'll get my notebook while I'm sitting here in traffic. I'm not driving and trying to write at the same time. But like while I'm sitting in traffic, I'll sit there and just write out an idea. And also on my phone, if a song's playing, I'll screenshot like the song on my phone, and I'll like write down the name of the song, and I'll kind of like write out briefly the idea that I have to do with that song. Or like if there's a YouTube video playing or something like that, I might listen to that, and I'll just write down different things. So doing that, it allows you to have a content bank. So anytime you're like, oh, I have no ideas, pull that notebook out. Okay, you had no excuses. And I'm telling you, it's even better when you're sitting with someone else who also, has like a lot of ideas like that. Because you might come up with 10 ideas, but if you're sitting with the other person, y'all might end up leaving that room with 45 ideas. Okay, so I really recommend that you have everything written down, because you can never say, I can't think of anything. It's all right there. Okay. Some other things that you should have in your content bank include pre-written captions, or at least loosely written captions, because later on you might have the perfect pieces of content, and then you're like, oh, I don't know what captions to use. So if you already kind of loosely have some written out, you'll be good to go. Another thing that you should also have in there is just think about some times where you've taken pictures or videos, and just like kind of like write that out, because you can use any unused photos or unused videos and come up with like maybe some kind of compilation video or a carousel post. So you can come up with some kind of theme related to those photos or videos. Okay, so those are great because you don't really have to go out and make new content. Think about when you're watching some kind of show. For example, I watch a lot of anime shows. Sometimes you'll see a episode and it's like filler content. And in case you guys don't know what that means, it's like an episode where it's like it's not even about the main plot. It's just something that the artist put out just to kind of help you get your fix of the show. You know what I mean? So but yeah, that's kind of like what I call those things. Any like unused stuff, you can really make content from it. That's all of your content bank that you would have in a notebook, but you can kind of have a content bank on the computer too, or on your phone. And I would say it's great to have templates for your posts. So if you're making something on like Instagram carousels or stories, or if you're making something on Pinterest, if you have some templates like already saved, or just some things you've kind of played around with in Canva or Photoshop, Illustrator, something like that, then you're good to go. You don't have to try to come up with a whole brand new, fresh idea, because, like I said, it saves you time. If you have some photos, you can just drag and drop them into your templates. If you have some text, you can just drag and drop that in there as well, or just type it up while you're sitting there in the template, and it saves you a whole bunch of time. Because again, remember, if you gotta make all this content, like get your photos, videos, and like the actual words or whatever, if you gotta put all that stuff together, and then you gotta go over here and design a whole new like post, like a whole new like design on like Canva or whatever, you're ready to quit Like, I'm telling you, it's that's why you feel so burnt out. I'm telling you. Listen to me, please. Please. The last thing you want to have in your content bank or just any kind of questions you feel like your viewers may have. So, for example, if you're someone who is doing hair, you might have someone to ask you, hey, what should I use for dry scalp? Like, so write that question down so you remember, oh, I can do a video about that. If you're doing stuff about like cars, maybe you can say, I don't know, which car do you think would be best for if I have two kids or something like that? I don't know. And they have car seats. A family of three. I don't know, family of 4 or 5. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So any kind of questions you think people might ask you, or anything you think that they might be interested in, just that topic in general, just write all that stuff down. And it can come to you naturally. So you don't have to always do that part during your brainstorming session. It's just that when you're out and about, while you're probably sitting there doom scrolling on your phone, just sit there, write down an idea. You have time to do it. I promise you, you do. To wrap up this video, I just want to say you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because you're going to be like, dang, she was right about XYZ. So remember, you want to make sure that you set aside time to brainstorm and gather all your topics together. You want to make sure that you schedule some time in your day or month or whatever to actually create your content. Make sure you're prepared. Have your phone plugged up. Have your batteries charged. Your good lighting. Your tripod. I'll have all that stuff set and ready to go. Even some outfits if you plan on changing outfits throughout the video, all that stuff. And just keep thinking about your content just all the time. So if you're at work, if you're in the bathtub, I don't know, anything, just keep thinking of ideas just to keep your mind open. So whenever you have an idea, you just see something, you're like, oh, I can make a piece of content about that, you know? Because it feels terrible when you feel like you can't create content, or if you feel like you just can't get any ideas. Okay, so just stay open-minded. All right. So if y'all need me, let me know. You can leave a comment. You can hit me up on Instagram, and I'll see you the next one. Bye.